Hello and welcome to the South Indian. My name is Sudha Sadanand. And as always, let's get started with the top headlines from the south of India on your screens right now. Madras High Court bars Music Academy from presenting award in MS Subbalakshmi's name to TM Krishna. Supreme Court grants anticipatory bail to Malayalam actor Siddiq in rape and sexual assault case. Big anti-Naxal operation in Karnataka. Top Naxal commander Vikram Gowda killed in an encounter in Udupi. Bengaluru police to challenge bail granted to actor Darshan in the Supreme Court. Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah announces plans to establish dedicated global capability centers in Bengaluru, Mysuru and Belagavi. Congress and the CPM hold a strike in Wayanad, demanding that the landslide in the area be declared a national disaster. And let's tell you what to expect in today's show of the South Indian, the big coming up. First up, Congress MLA Ravi Ganiga accuses BJP of offering a bribe of 100 crores to two MLAs in a bid to topple the Siddaramaiah government. The Tirumala Devasthanam says no to any politically loaded comments and non-Hindu stuff in a first meeting under the new chairperson, B.R. Naidu. Actor Vijay's TV case says no to alliance with AIADMK, calls reports of alliance as baseless. And Andhra Pradesh scraps two-child policy for local body elections. Our first story is focusing on Karnataka. Look at that statement. Have proof that BJP offered a bribe of 100 crores. Who's it? Why is it being said? Let's take a look. You know, the past 3 months in Karnataka has been full of political turmoil. Just about a week ago, Chief Minister Siddaramaiah had alleged that the opposition, Bharatiya Janata Party, had offered a bribe of 50 crores each to 50 Congress MLAs in a bid to oust his government. And now, the Karnataka Congress seems to have doubled down in its allegations with MLA Ravi Ganiga, claiming that the BJP offered a bribe of 100 crores to two Congress MLAs. Ganiga claimed that he had evidence that the BJP had offered 100 crores in bribe to Kittur MLA Baba Sahib Patil and Chikamagaluru MLA MD Tammayya. Ganiga said, and I'm quoting Anil Ganiga here, the BJP has offered not 50 crores but 100 crores to the MLAs to topple the Congress government. Both BJP and JDS want to bring down the Congress government. I will soon release the evidence of Operation Kamala. Anil Ganiga also added that he had details on why and in which hotel the BJP had contacted Patil and Tammayya. Ganiga claimed that he had all this information in the form of audio, video, CDs, pen drives and even iCloud, and that he shall be releasing them in Mandya very soon. Are really efforts on to topple Siddaramaiah's government? And if that is true, then apart from making just these allegations, what is Siddaramaiah doing to stall it? Please remember, Operation Lotus or Operation Kamala was one big operation launched by the BJP to see to it that the government of Congress and JDS falls in Karnataka. Let's debate what this means. I'm going across to my colleague Mohammad Wajiullah, who's been tracking this story and giving us all the details from day one. Vaji, this is very from 50, it has now become 100. And even in the Congress, like D.K. Shivakumar said, that I'll have to talk to Siddaramaiah about it. There is a lot of buzz about this now, and somehow Muda and Valmiki have gone down the pecking order. What are you learning on the ground?
So if you look into this entire controversy, there are two ways of looking into it. One is the chief minister saying that yes, 50 crores have been offered to my ministers, and there is horse trading that is happening, and the BJP is making all the efforts to topple the government with regards to buying the ministers. On the other hand, you have his own ministers coming out and saying that no, 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 it was not 50 crores. Our ministers have been offered 100 crores, and they're doubling the amount. And these are the things. On the other, if you look at the other side, the Kittur MLA has gone on to say that he has not been offered any such amount in the recent times. If there was any offer from the BJP, it was during the election at that particular point of time. And he does not have any proof to back that thing up. So where does Mr. Ravi Ganiga comes out and says this statement is something that Mr. Ravi Ganiga will have to prove, because he has gone on to say that there are these allegations that have been leveled against him. Now the BJP, on the other hand, CT Ravi in his statement has gone on to ask the question that if there is 100 crores, 50 crores, please come out with proof. When you have an SIT for all the scams that you're talking about, be it the COVID scam, be it the WAF scam, any scam, if the Muda scam, you set up an SIT. Why is there no SIT with regards to this? Why don't we investigate this matter? Or is it just that it is a show of loyalty of the MLAs, where if the chief minister has said 50, then I will up the ante and say 100 crores. So there are two ways to look into it. One are the allegations that are thrown at it. One, these are just allegations and there are no proof, or it is just a loyalty test. Some ministers are coming out and saying that we are backing the chief minister. So there are two ways to look into it. One on the BJP side of it and one is the Congress side of it.
Right. But I'm very intrigued by this, because he says he's got proof. Usually there is no proof when there is horse trading done. You think anyone will give you a stamp paper or anything like that? It's all very verbal. It's hush-hush. Karnataka is very famous for resort politics. Do you believe when Anil Ganiga says that he does have proofs in the form of, CDs and pen drives, etc., etc.? How true is that? And are you expecting some kind of a press conference in the near future? Vijay?
That is something we, as a journalist, we can only believe it when we are shown as proof. But what he says, these are verbal words that have just come out of, because like you mentioned, proving all these allegations is something that are not easy. We have, yes, Operation Kamala is something that we've seen in the past. It has happened in Karnataka. You can call Karnataka as the state that has made it famous. But those allegations are also yet to be proved on where the money went from, whom are the ministers really involved. So these words could be a way of showing their loyalty to the chief minister, saying that, sir, we have backed you in your statement. And we have also said that you have given me 100 crores. Why don't you give? Because we are seeing a cabinet reshuffle. There could be a lot of angles to it as a journalist. If we have to see it, there's a cabinet reshuffle that could happen. These are ministers who speak and show their loyalty, could get some portfolio, some anything. So unless and until we don't see documents, we don't see calls, we don't see the proof that he's talking about, it is just on face value that all these statements from the BJP or the Congress, because the BJP has not denied anything, has said that if you have proof that we have given 100 crores, then show it to us. Till the time you're just talking. So we are only hearing statements and statements, and if it is really true, we will have to wait and watch it. He does conference and releases these documents.
Right. But Vajiyullah, the thing is that, it is also, you said a very right thing. You said, there's going to be a cabinet reshuffle and maybe everyone is trying to prove their loyalty to Siddaramaiah. But on the other hand, there is also conjecture and speculation that because Tirumala is feeling so hemmed in because of Muda, Valmiki, etc., etc., that this is some way of deflecting attention and saying, we are not corrupt, they are corrupt. And also, the Lokayukta has said 40% Sarkara charge has been dismissed. Do you think this is also one story which you as a journalist could consider and look at?
We can consider the fact, yes, on the lines of corruption, everyone has their hand inside the ghee, be it the Congress or the BJP, because if the Congress is alleging that there are scams within the BJP, is the BJP countering with saying that you have the Muda scam, you have the Valmiki scam, and yes, both these allegations have their own kind of proof. But on the other hand, if you look on the side of the public, it's the public who's getting fooled by both of them. If they have to support the Congress, if they have to vote for them, they also have corruption charges. They also have corruption. At the end of the day, Sudha, it's you and I and the public at the end who's receiving the brunt.
Absolutely. And on that note, thank you so much, Mohammad Vajiyullah, for throwing light on this. And of course, if you're saying cabinet reshuffle, when do you think, last one I wanted to ask you, but it's okay, I was very greedy. I wanted to know, when does the cabinet reshuffle happen? But for now, that was my colleague Mohammad Wajiullah reporting live from Bengaluru. The next story which is coming up, and it's one of the most important stories, a story which had earlier taken the nation by shock. TTD says no to any politically loaded comments and non-Hindu stuff in a first meeting under the new chairperson, B.R. Naidu. Alright, so that is the story. TTD stands for Tirupati Tirumala Devasthanam. It says no to political comments and also says no to non-Hindus. That is B.R. Naidu, the new chairperson of the TTD. After much controversy, the newly constituted board of Tirupati Tirumala Devasthanam, or TTD, held its first maiden meeting on 18th of November. On its agenda were several issues, and topping the list was the ghee used in the Laddu Prasadam, which had shaken the conscience of lakhs of devotees when Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu had accused the erstwhile regime of Jagan Reddy of having used ghee adulterated with animal fat. Let me also add here that the Honorable Court didn't buy into that argument, and of course, that's another story. But then let me now tell you what the new chairperson of TTD board said about ghee. He said, we will appoint an expert committee to decide the ghee that could be used in making the Laddu Prasadam. There will be a laboratory of very high standards to test its quality. It may cost the TTD about 80 lakhs to 90 lakhs. That's what B.R. Naidu said. So major focus on getting the right kind of ghee for the Laddu Prasadam. The other decisions are right now on your screens. Ladies and gentlemen, take a look. Using artificial intelligence, AI, to facilitate darshan of the Lord within 2 to 3 hours. To send on deputation all non-Hindu staff of the temple to other departments, either revenue of municipal administration, or ask them to take voluntary retirement. No propagation of any other religion on Tirumala. Banning of all politically loaded comments on the Tirumala hills, and the event of any comments, filing of case or cases against any such. Proposal to restore the name of the flyover in Tirupati to Garuda Varadi from Srinivas Setu. Removal of the name of Srivani Trust and conduct all financial constructions from the TTD's main account. That is, have one account. In Nitya Nadanam, which is everyday serving of food, the board approved to further improve the quality. Scrap the quota of tickets for tourism development corporations of various states. Proposal to reclaim land of Vishaka Sharada Peetham and take over its control after cancelling its lease. Proposal to request the Forest Department to allot the 20-acre land after cancelling the lease given for the location of Mumtaz Hotels on Alipiri Zoo Park Road. And listen to what B.R. Naidu, the new TTD chairperson, had to say about non-Hindus.
So we have identified some people, non-Hindus. And we don't want to just to send, but we will ask those people. Personally, I wanted to meet them, and I will request them to take the VRS. If they are not interested, we will transfer or maybe deputation to other department, government department like revenue or municipality or any corporation. So that is our intention.
Most of these proposals are, of course, with an intent to spruce up the facilities at the most important shrine in India. But there are some in that list which need some debate. Let's welcome the guest on the show and ask them these questions. First up, Professor Jyotsna Thirunagari, National Spokesperson for the Telugu Desam Party, and PVS Murali, Political Analyst. A very warm welcome to both of you. Mr. Murali, I want to come to you. You know, like I said, I read out the list. Some of them are excellent, you know, to spruce up the activity. But I have some problems with certain things, and one being that sent on deputation all non-Hindu staff of the temple to other departments or ask them to take VRS. That is one thing. And as a journalist, you and I know that, you know, when you press gang me into not speaking, that is, you know, a curtailment of my fundamental right. No political comments to be made on the Tirumala hills. I'll ask you that later, but first up, about transferring of people. What do you think of that? I mean, does that mean that this is exclusively by, for and only Hindus?
Yeah, let's look at it in a holistic way. Uh, this TTD itself is Tirupati Tirumala Devasthan, which is a purely a Hindu religious temple. It's not that non-Hindus won't go into the temple with some kind of a protocol of giving the declaration. They can still get into the temple. So that's it's okay as long as you start believing in the temple, in the Lord Venkateshwara and the Hindu culture. Now, second, that's only for the those who would like to visit the temple and then go out. So that's only for that protocol applies only to them. Now, when it comes to the permanent employees, uh, you know, by a reasonable understanding, you don't find non-Christians in Vatican, nor you find non-Muslims in Mecca, nor in any of the other religious structures. So there is nothing wrong. Fundamentally, to my mind, it's by far a fair decision as long as they are not, forcibly thrown out. First of all, getting them into the system itself is incorrect. Now, the corrective action for that is to make them voluntarily resign and go, or else they depute to
Yeah, but
they
Murali,
would be
yeah,
transferred to
but
the.
Mr. PVS
Yeah.
Murali, I am not a legal, but I do understand that if a place is a place which reveres the most respected Lord, and I am a devotee, I am saying it very loudly here. Every man in my family is called Srinivas. You throw a stone and there are hundreds who will stand up. But I am saying that yes, maybe you cannot, you know, possibly you have to follow rules, sign a declaration. But what about right to employment? Is there a charter there which says only Hindus can apply for a job? Because if that is so, I respect that as well. But I have my doubts. Because if earlier Muslims could work there or Christians could work there, what has changed now? Except that it's a new board, Mr. Murali. It's right to employment.
Yeah, you're right. No, that's what I said. One wrong cannot make another wrong cannot make the other first wrong as correct. You know. But my point here is, ma'am, the fundamentally the non-Muslims and the non-Hindus were inducted into the this kind of a news of non-Hindus didn't come to the front earlier on, except for the last 5 to 6 years time. So, which means obviously there is much water has flown in the last several years for whatever reason it can be, and so now to make a correction and take a corrective action, it's in all fairness, a Hindu temple should be for the Hindus and not managed by somebody who do not understand what Hinduism is.
I don't
And you
agree.
know,
I don't agree. I don't agree. But then that's your point of view. I respect it. We can agree to disagree. That because I belong to a different religion, I will not understand Hinduism. Because
my
Hinduism.
only
No, let
yeah,
me.
my only one last thing. My only submission to you is that if it's possible for you, please make me a member in Vatican,
In where?
in the
Make.
Vatican City.
I'm sorry, sir, but I have nothing to do with the Vatican or any other religious organization. I'm a journalist like you are. And on that very, very funny note, I'll take a break. But when I come back, I will speak to Professor Jyotsna. Stay with us. We're talking about the Tirupati Tirumala Devasthanam.
The next Indian icons, beating everyone on the globe. Prepare for breathtaking performance. B6E and XEV9E. Mahindra's electric origin SUVs. Catch them at Unlimit India.
लोग वायदा करते थे लेकिन निभाते नहीं थे।
प्रधानमंत्री जी के लिए ये संविधान खाली है।
इस बार सब कुछ अच्छा ही होगा, कमल का फूल खिलेगा।
पहला चरण का जो चुनाव हुए कम से कम 32 सीटें बीजेपी को मिलने वाला है, पक्का हो चुके हैं।
आज हमने इनके सामने, बिरसा मुंडा जी के सामने हाथ जोड़े। मैं आपसे पूछना चाहता हूं, क्या बिरसा मुंडा जी की सोच इसमें नहीं है?
ये तो फक्त ट्रेलर है, पिक्चर अभी बाकी है।
All right, then that's our main debate today. The Tirumala Devasthanam says no to political comments and of course says no to non-Hindus. Let me now go across to Professor Jyotsna Tirunagari, who is the national spokesperson for the Telugu Desam Party. Professor Jyotsna, very warm welcome to you. Namaste. I want to ask you about these political comments, and I read out so that I don't make any mistakes. The board has imposed a ban on making such comments. If anyone indulges in this practice, we will file cases against them. You want to explain that, Professor Jyotsna, about what this means?
Good evening, Suthaji.
Namaste.
A warm good evening to all the audience also. So that yesterday's board resolutions, let me give clarity on some of them along with the question that you have asked me.
Yes, ma'am.
First, yes, there are a couple of things that the board resolution and the board thought was important. There are 4 major pillars, I would say. One is preserving the sanctity of the place. Second one is, the reforms that we get or that the board is trying to get are devotee-centric reforms. Third one is maintaining the cultural integrity of the place and also maintaining transparency. Why am I saying you all this, Sudhaji? The first thing, the preserving the sanctity of the place. And the question that you have asked me, Sudhaji, about the political comments there or whatnot, making political comments on the hill, what we call the Tirumala shrine, what we call, has become pretty common in the past 5 years. I would say earlier, there probably, anybody who would go to Tirumala Tirupati would not utter a word apart from God's things. Om Venkateshaya Namaha, ya fir, Narayana Namaha. Bas utna hi. Usko chhod ke, beyond that, nobody would talk anything about politics or political statements on the hill shrine. Never did it happen. But for the past 5 years, things have gone really haywire, I would say. And again, the board, board is completely different from the government, I would say. So the board today says, no, boss, nobody, no political party or no political individuals can come here and talk about politics because it's a religious place and we want to preserve the sanctity of the place. First thing, that's the reason they have come up with a ban on political comments, and I personally would welcome it as a devotee of Lord Sri Venkateshwara, because when we go there, in fact, Sudhaji, you are a devotee, you know very clearly that, on the hill shrine of Tirumala, we should just hear the chantings Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Venkatesaya Namaha. These are just the chantings
Right,
that
I
we
totally
should
agree. I totally
apart
agree.
Apart from that, nothing else.
Yeah, I can only hear Suprabhadam sung by M.S. Subbalakshmi. We've been going for years. But I want to ask you something, Professor Jyotsna.
Yes.
Now, who has made the biggest political statements on the Tirumala Hills and particularly the board in recent history? Your
I
Chief
will come
Minister.
to that. I will come.
No, I also need, I have to adjust timings also. So I'm asking you. Your Chief Minister and your Deputy Chief Minister who went on Varahi Yatras after Yatras and did Prashchitta and everything, we saw that happening. The other is Chandrababu Naidu, who said that the board was corrupt, the board was full of people who were non-believers. So who's making political comments? You have to also look at yourself, look inwards, no?
So Sudhaji, are we the people who have got this ban on political comments there? It is the board that has come up.
Yeah,
so
whose board is it, ma'am? Whose board? Who has
Tirumala
this?
Tirumala
But we
Tirupati
all,
Devasthana
come on,
board.
Professor.
Sudhaji,
Earlier, Professor,
Sudhaji,
if earlier
Sudhaji,
board
you
which
say-
had
you say-
Subbarao and everyone
Subbareddy.
said, oh, he's
Subbareddy.
Subbareddy,
Subbareddy.
he's a Christian because, it is Jagan Reddy. How come this board has nothing to do with the party?
Let me come to your point, Sudhaji. You have to give me time when you have asked me a question. I said, because the board believes that, as you are also one of the devotee of Lord Sri Venkateswara, right? You only said in the initial comments by you in this particular debate, your feelings were also hurt when the thing about Laddu Prasada has come out. So the board today said, on the hill shrine, no political comments would be allowed by anyone. Anyone who comes here and does any sort of a political comment, cases would be registered.
That's curtailing freedom of expression. Sorry. That is being let me get Murali. And also, Jyotsna, your light is coming and going. Does production please check her light is coming and dimming? No, I will have to get others also. No, Murali, why don't you come?
Let me talk also, Sudhaji.
Murali,
you have asked me a question.
No, but I have to go to, please Jyotsna, I have to go to other guest also, na Baba.
I understand.
Mr. Murali, if you can hear me, sir, this about not making any political comments, sir, don't you think this is a bit much? This is kind of draconian.
The one thing is clear, in a religious place, one should not make any political statements. But whatever happened earlier, it could have happened. There would have been many instances. But going forward, at least on a party basis or a political basis, you cannot make any statement. But when it pertains to the functionality of the TTD, if there is any grievances or any such issues that are related to the processes of the TTD, then everybody has got a right to make an announcement and make that in public. So there is nothing wrong in it, which is of course backed by the Constitution of India. And so I don't see any reasons, as long as there is no anti-Hindu nor any religious, anti-Hindu religious or any other religious statements or any political related statements should be totally avoided. But any issues with the TTD processes, the issues with TTD, they have to be publicized, and there is nothing wrong with it.
All right. So, Jyotsna, would you like to react to what Mr. PVS Murali said, that the Constitution gives you the right? For instance, what if I come to the hills and I say the laddu size has become very small, or it doesn't taste as good as it used to taste, and someone interviews me?
Sudhaji, I'll tell you one thing. I think you also understand that very well, but again, I'll have to clarify that. The ban is on political statements, political comments on the hill shrine. And apart from that, see, everybody can express their views. That's what is political statements are banned. That's it. As far as I understand, I can read the resolutions of the board. Any political comments are banned on the hill shrine. But apart from that, yes, you can always say that, and you can always, there is a grievance cell in TTD also, and you can also probably go to them and say that the laddus are not tasting good. The laddus probably are smaller in size. Yes, you can always tell that to
Yeah, but I will
You
wait
have
for
that
the,
right as well.
yeah, but if you put a thing about political statements, of course, we are going to get a lot of stories in the future. I want to now move on. What about the Vishakha Sharada Peetham? There is a controversy about the Vishakha Sharada Peetham. It was said that they had grabbed land, but the point is that land was given to them. Now, what is your stand? Because that's one of the important pillars of your resolution as well.
Yes, coming to the Vishakha Sharada Peetham land issue that you were talking
Yes.
about. Basically what has happened was the board has decided to reclaim the land which was leased to Vishakha Sharada Peetham. They have cancelled the lease. The reason being it was given giving some undue advantage to somebody because the lease amount or whatever the concerned amount that we called, that was not what was in the market outside, and there were clear, even the vigilance report said that there were clear mishandling of that issue that has happened, and the lands were not given according to the rule book, one thing. And it is the board decision to reclaim that land because the lease that was given was not according to the terms and conditions of the Tirumala Tirupati Devasthana board.
Fantastic,
First.
I think.
And
Yeah.
second thing. I'll also, because you won't give me much time, because I know there's another speaker on the panelist on the thing, but again, I know I'll have to address this, so I'm doing it. According, the earlier question that was posed to Mr. Murliji earlier before me, the issue of non-Hindu employees in the Tirumala Tirupati Devasthana. I think, Sudhaji, I'll have to address that also because it's any, legally speaking, any religious, most of the, not any, but most of the religious institutions in India have some autonomy. In fact, they have some autonomy and they have some freedom in their hiring practices based on their religious grounds. Sure. And also based on the culture and tradition that they follow, they can frame their rules and regulations. For example, if you talk about Shabarimala, they have got some different rules and regulations. If you talk about the Raghavendra Swami temple in Mantralaya, they have some set of rules and regulations. In the similar fashion, the Tirumala Tirupati Devasthana today also has come up with some rules and regulations saying that
Fantastic.
any non-Hindus.
Yeah,
and
all right.
Here, please, just a
you
second.
You can't,
please.
Professor, I'm sorry, I give you enough time, then you can't keep adding, because I'm sorry, I have to give equal time, ma. Please understand.
I know, Sudhaji, last 30 seconds, please, I request you. Non-Hindus, whoever has asked for entry any number of times, they are entering the hill shrine, they have to give a declaration.
Right, which Jagan Reddy never did. Which Jagan Reddy never did. Sure.
Watch your dog. So, whenever a pilgrim is coming to Tirumala, is asked for declaration every time he is visiting. So, you can also imagine
all right.
PVS
Murali, I want to talk to, we've got only 2 minutes left, alas. Mr. Murali, I want to ask you, there is also one lease of Mumtaz Hotels, which has now been cancelled. Apparently, it has some truck with the Oberoi group. And because they think that Mumtaz Hotels, which is going to give you lots of rooms and etc., and basically boarding and lodging and fantastic facilities for people to stay, that's also been cancelled because of Mumtaz, the name. So, business proposition here, and if they change the name, do you think an okay thing to do? Because it sounds like Yogi Adityanath and Uttar Pradesh that if you are in a place with my name, shop name called Arif Mobile, I have to change the name.
Yeah, I really do not, I'm not privy to the kind of agreement that government of Andhra Pradesh had with the Mumtaz Hotels or the Oberois. But technically speaking, as long as it falls under the 7 Hills, they have every right to cancel it because 7 Hills belongs to Lord Venkateshwara. But if it falls outside the 7 Hills, it is in the proper Tirupati area, then it's a different story that I'm not privy to the legalities of it. So to that extent, I refrain from commenting on that, except that if it belongs within the 7 Hills of the temple of the Lord Venkateshwara, it belongs to Lord Venkateshwara. So there is no reason why it should be given to a person who is outside the Hindu.
Right, okay. And Jyotsna Tirunagari, I want to come to you and ask you about the Mumtaz Hotel controversy, as it were. You have to unmute.
No, I have unmuted. Okay. I think I'm audible now.
Yeah, you are. Go ahead.
Thank you. So this particular area that we are talking about, Sudhaji, it's just next to the Alupiri steps that we call the entrance. Okay? That particular land belongs to the state government of Andhra Pradesh, which they have actually given it to the tourism department for the construction of a resort sort of a thing. Not resort, but an entire thing called Devaloka. It was actually for that. But after the previous government came in, they have bits and parts they have literally sold off. They have removed, they have taken it off from the tourism and they have given it to Oberoi, they have given it to somebody, So the board yesterday made a resolution requesting the state government of Andhra Pradesh to give that land to the board, the Tirumala Tirupati Devasthana board, so that they can construct the entire concept of Devaloka that was actually designed for that particular place earlier.
Which is fantastic, but it also says that, Mumtaz, the hotel, it hurts the religious sentiments of devotees who come to see Srinivasa.
At the entrance, Sudhaji, at the Alipiri entrance, there is a big board. Now they have in fact removed the board. If I have to tell you that particular people who were constructing there, they have removed the board that Mumtaz hotels or whatnot. But the prime concern of TTD board, according to the resolution of yesterday, was that this is an area where it shows the entrance and it was actually designed for a conceptual, construction. Devaloka, you had temples there, you had the proper thing there.
All right, quickly, I have 30 seconds, Jyotsna. What about the AI stuff? I know AI is the thing, but I don't want to see my Lord through AI.
No, it's not this. It's no. Sudhaji, I think people have got it wrong. It's not seeing Lord through AI. It's using AI technology to actually, there is almost 20-30 hours of time that's been taken for the Sarva Darshana, the regular Darshana.
Yes.
So what the new chairperson thinks that we have to actually reduce the number of hours because people are literally, put in the compartments for hours together. Yeah. So the usage of technology and also with the usage of several newer things that are coming into picture, he wants to make sure the Darshana of Lord Venkateshwara, what should I say, the feeling that we have, when you see Lord Venkateshwara, you have tears rolling in your eyes, isn't it, Sudhaji? That's the kind of sanctity and that's the kind of the belief system people have in it. So they said we are going to use technology to reduce the wait time for the darshan of Lord Venkateshwara.
All right, now I've completely run out of time. My producer is warning me. Thank you so much, Professor Jyotsna Tirunagari, for joining us, and Mr. Murali. It's always such a pleasure. The next story which is coming up on the show is Dalapati Vijay. TVK says no to alliance with the AIADMK, calls reports of such alliance absolutely baseless. That's coming after the break.
यही मौका है बिजनेस को बढ़ाने का, पर पैसा
अपनी सुपर पावर यूज करने का टाइम आ गया है।
आप टेंशन मत लीजिए, IIFL फाइनेंस से झटपट गोल्ड लोन लीजिए और बिजनेस आगे बढ़ाइए।
आपके जैसे सुपर हीरोज ऐसी छोटी मोटी प्रॉब्लम से थोड़ी ना रुकते हैं, इसीलिए लाइफ जब भी आगे बढ़ने का मौका दे तो अपनी सुपर पावर, अपना गोल्ड यूज करिए और IIFL फाइनेंस से गोल्ड लोन लीजिए।
IIFL फाइनेंस करता है सीधी बात।
I'm Manoj Mitta, a journalist who co-authored a book titled When a Tree Shook Delhi. I've written extensively on the cover-up of political complicity in the mass violence targeting Sikhs in the wake of Indira Gandhi's assassination. Despite the official death toll of 2,733 in Delhi alone, the cover-up involved multiple arms of the Indian state. It is no surprise, therefore, that Jagdish Titler, one of the Congress leaders alleged to be behind the violence, is said to be tried only now.
This and more. Streaming on News 9 Plus. News is now content. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
New political formations in Tamil Nadu or maybe none. That's the story we are doing. Tamil Vetri Karagam, TVK, of that man who's raising his hands in a Vanakkam or Namaste. Thalapathy Vijay says no to alliance with AIADMK, and down there is former Chief Minister Edappadi Palaniswamy. On 27th October, when actor Vijay Thalapathy held his party Tamil Vetri Karagam's maiden convention, in attendance of lakhs of frenzied fans turned party cadre, Tamil Nadu felt the tremors of a new political entity making its grand entry. Vijay swore by principles of social justice and equality and trained his guns at a party which indulges in divisive politics. Read that to be the Bharatiya Janata Party, and also bitterly criticize the party which is mired in corruption and encouraged dynastic politics. Read that to be the ruling Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam or DMK. However, Vijay also left a little windows open and said for 2026 his party was open to shaking hands with a party which was on very synchronized platform with the TVK ideologically. Vijay said, and I quote him, "If parties wish to form alliance, we will give them power share in governance." When the BJP and DMK was left out, or rather ejected out, entered AIADMK, and none other than Edappadi Palaniswamy, former Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu and the chief of the party, said, "We have still 1.5 years to go for the assembly polls." He, meaning Mr. Vijay, has just started his party. He has held the party's first state-level conference. Coalition will be formed depending upon the situation prevailing at the time of the assembly poll. A lot of speculation had gathered around this so-called alliance, and then on Monday, that is the 18th of November, the Tamil Vetri Kazhagam's General Secretary N. Anand announced that the party intended to form a government on its own in Tamil Nadu and dismissed speculations that it could form an alliance with the AIADMK in the 2026 assembly elections. This was in response to a report published in a local Tamil daily, and Anand, while terming it baseless, also added, "At the first state conference of the TVK, the party leader, Vijay, delivered a clear and detailed speech outlining the party's policies, ideological and political enemies, and its political stance. We remind those with ulterior motives spreading such baseless falsehoods in the guise of political commentary via media and social media that the people of Tamil Nadu will disregard such fabricated news." As always shoot the messenger, us the media. You could do any kind of, strategies. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. It is clear now that the TVK is presuming that owing to a large gathering of fans and cadre at its opening convention, it can go alone in 2026. But then, remember, in a state like Tamil Nadu, which has always veered towards one of the two Dravidian parties, will Vijay snub to the AIADMK even work? Let me now welcome the guest, SMA Jamaluddin, who's the spokesperson for the TVK. He's the only guest we have. Mr. Jamaluddin, a very warm welcome to you. Vanakkam, how are you?
Vanakkam, ma'am. Good evening.
Good evening.
Like our president, yeah.
So what is this about, that this is all baseless, we don't want to work with the AIADMK, so what is Vijay trying to do? I mean, he's a new, of course, entry into politics. He wants to go it all alone, is it? I mean, he doesn't want any truck with the BJP because of divisive politics. He does not want anything to do with the Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam, and now he's clearly shut his doors to the AIADMK as well.
Exactly. Our leader is crystal clear in that. We have formed a party from the grassroots level, and we have been working out for over the past few years. And now what is happening? We have conducted a convention, which we have proved the gathering, people's gathering, and the mass gathering there, which is clear proof to the others, and it's to the new evolution of a new party, which is going to say its words in 2026 state election.
But what does he have against? No, sir. Wait a minute, because his heroes are still Periyar and Annadurai and MGR. The point is that what is this? He spoke about the BJP and the DMK, but what is his opposition to the ADMK?
No, now we are concerned with the ruling parties. In the central, there is BJP. In the state, it is DMK. They are in direct, they are in direct control over the PPL. That is, they are ruling the state and they are ruling the country. So it is ideological for our leader to state, only just to give an opposition to them, that we have evolved to create a new history in 2026. We are not worried about those who are not in the show, as we are also a fresh one. The others are not in the show. They are not running the state or not running the country. Now, what is happening currently, we want to visualize to the people, and we want to be frank in that. And we in the convention itself, our Talabadi said that we are ready to go. We are welcome those who are like-minded with open hands. But we did not say. He did not say that.
Yeah, Jamal sir, now political analysts are saying, when he says that we are open to forming an alliance with like-minded parties.
Not alliance. We are welcoming people to align with us. That is what he meant in that conversation.
Sir, Vijay is a great actor, sir, but he is a newcomer in politics. So you can't invite, Stalin, for whatever said and done, is older and also more experienced. There is some respect in Tamil Nadu left for age, no sir. We are not like others. I'm asking you, Jamal sir, apparently when he says that, they're saying that the alliance that the DMK has, recently we've seen lots of problems between the Tol Tirumala, that is of the Virudhulai Katchi, the VCK party, and between the DMK and also other parties. So they are saying Vijay is trying to break the alliance of the DMK and try to get those people on his side. What will you say, Jamal sir?
That will happen only during the election. Now, when it is nearing the election, we will stand for that. We will actually how it is working out, what is the actual stage in that. Now we have showed the mass gathering, and now we are in the level of converting the two into vote bank. Now our main aim is to convert this whole mass gathering into a vote bank.
Very good. So that's how it happens, because I think, Jamal sir, that's how MGR sir did it also. He saw to it that his fan clubs, and he started in 1942 or around that time, when the fans slowly turned into his supporters. And politics and cinema are conjoined twins in Tamil Nadu, and it's beautiful. I want to ask you, go back to the recent history, sir. Which actor? Yes, which actor has made a mark, sir? Kamala Hassan, dud. He had to join DMK. We had Captain Vijay, did a great job, but you saw his trajectory. Many came, many went. Seaman, who's also an actor turned politician, is struggling. What gives you the faith that, TVK can go alone and make a dent and have, Vijay as the next chief minister of Tamil Nadu, Jamal sir?
Yes. Now, that is what we have, the confidence in the people. Our leader has got the confidence, and he has come in the right moment. He has chosen this right moment when there's some kind of void, and there is an aversion now in the recent state politics. This aversion, our leader wants to convert it into vote bank, and definitely he is very confident in that he will convert this into a great vote bank and give a change. We want the people to give a change in 26, and at that 5 years, our leadership will give, our ruling will give a change to the people in return. That we are confident. That confidence itself was lacking in the previous new actors. Though they have even Vijay Gandhi, we are trying to convert those voters towards our party, so that we can give a changed, better rule in the 2026 after the 2026 for the next 5 years. That is what is our aim.
On that note, Mr. SMA Jamaldeen, thank you so much for joining us on this broadcast. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. We are fine.
Next coming up, Andhra Pradesh scraps two-child policy for local body polls. That's the next one coming up on your screens. All right, that's the story. Andhra government scraps two-child policy for local polls. The Andhra Pradesh Assembly has scrapped the policy barring people with more than 2 children from contesting in the local body elections by passing the AP Panchayat Raj Amendment Bill 2024 and the AP Municipal Laws Amendment Bill 2024. The two bills were moved by Ministers N. Manohar and P. Narayana on behalf of the Deputy Chief Minister and Panchayat Raj and Rural Development Minister, actor-turned-politician Pawan Kalyan. Speaking in the Assembly, Manohar said that the bill was in line with the state government's efforts to ensure that the state had a young population and that the scrapping of the two-child norm was a progressive step as the days of family planning were now long over. The bill was welcomed by the MLAs who said that the state could no longer afford to ignore the population trends. Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu has in recent times also called for people to have more babies in view of the declining population of Andhra Pradesh. Interestingly, it was the Chandrababu Naidu government which introduced the two-child norm to disqualify individuals with more than 2 children from contesting the local body elections. But now, in a complete reversal, as is always expected in the world of politics, Naidu has scrapped the policy which is seemingly necessitated by the changing population trend and how it will impact after delimitation about how many seats does the state have, and both M.K. Stalin and Chandrababu Naidu are rather nervous. And on that note, thank you so much for watching the South Indian, the only show nationally which brings you all the stories from the south of India. Tomorrow, it's another day, new stories, new debates. Until then, goodbye.
Hello. If your money is fraudulently taken by somebody or if cyber scam takes place with you,
क्या हम कृष्णा दास गुप्ता जी से बात कर रहे हैं?
And you report it to the bank within 3 days of the crime, the bank is liable to pay you 100%. This is clear-cut guidelines.
मैं डिपार्टमेंट से बात कर रहा हूँ.
If you report it within 7 days, the bank is liable to pay you 50%. And if you report it 21 days, I think 25% or something.
और हमने ये देखा है कि आपके आधार कार्ड से एक सिम रजिस्टर्ड हुआ है यहाँ.
If the person gives information within the span of 3 to 4 hours, 100% recovery can be done. I personally have seen a lot of cases where 100% recovery has been done.
आपका सिम यूज हुआ है, इलीगल एक्टिविटीज हुई हैं उस सिम से. Oh my God, Madam, you are also involved in the Naresh Goyal money laundering case.
This and more. Streaming on News 9 Plus. News is now content. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
how do you fulfill that promise? Because ultimately expectations have to be met. If you look at the political landscape, is it really changing for women? And what is the inability of the forces that dead bodies surface but not the living people?
India spends $75 billion on foreign cargo vessels.
$71 billion per annum. That's a lot of money.
Imagine a situation where 95% of our cargo is coming on ships which are